Hello and welcome back to Ironbark Benny's, your one-stop shop for all things booze, blues and barbecues. I'm Ironbark Benny and today we're going to be cooking beef short ribs on the smoker. This is one of my favourite things to do. Beef short ribs are just awesome to smoke. They taste phenomenal. It's going to take a while, 6, 8, 10 hours, something like that. Stick around, it's going to be a good cook. It's been a long time since my last video, got a huge head of hair going, still in lockdown here in the UK, still no chance to get a haircut, still another 3 weeks away, absolute craziness. Today this video is going to be dedicated to Wally. Wally, out there in Canada mate, I know you're having a pretty tough time of it, but good times will come soon mate, and stick to it and we'll get through the other side of it. You're a legend and this one's going out to you. Stick around guys, we're going to get these beef ribs seasoned up. We're going to get them out on the pit, and later on we're going to be eating, you know it. So here we are over at the cutting board. I've got two of these beautiful beef ribs, beef short ribs. That doesn't get much better. They've got a lovely bit of fat through them. I've just trimmed them up a little bit. I've taken the fat off. Taking all the silver skin off the top because that's no good for eating. They've got enough fat in them, they don't need a fat cap. I've got my yellow mustard here to make a binder. I've got the Rusty Barbecue Company kettle dust, just a nice salt, pepper, a few nice herbs in there, oregano. We've got a little bit of sugar, but very little. And then of course some coarse ground black pepper here. So let's get stuck in and get these things all tidied up, get them rubbed up, and then we'll get that barbecue started. Righto, so I'm just using a little bit of the yellow mustard just to give the rub something to stick to. This is not about flavour, this is just about giving the rub something to grab hold of so we don't lose the rub. Don't have to go too heavy, just get a nice even layer on here. Get them rubbed up nicely. And now they're ready to go. Coming in here with the kettle dust. Absolutely beautiful rub, this one. Get the end. Beautiful. Alright, they're nicely rubbed. I'm just going to come back and hit these, just the tops, with a little bit more black pepper, just because I love it, as you all know. So there we go. These are going to hang out on the board for about, another half hour to an hour, come up to room temperature while I go and get the barbecue started. Alright, so today I'm going to be cooking on the gateway drum. I need that extra space because I'm going to be cooking some salmon and some mackerel as well. So I need 2 layers of space to get all this cooked done. So hence I'll be firing up the big girl. She smokes beautifully as you've seen before and I love using it. Also going to be firing it with Stag British charcoal, some fresh lump. Shout out to Matt at Stag, beautiful product you make out there Matt. Charcoal's always perfect, burns beautifully and just gets an all round great result. So stick around, we're going to fire up the smoker, show you how I get it set up, then we're going to get to cooking. Okay, after a few minutes we've got the charcoal nice and hot, got a little fire going. It's enough for me for now. We'll get the charcoal down into the bottom of the barbecue and get everything set up the way I want it, and we'll start getting the system up to temperature. A couple of beautiful smoking chunks, again from Matt out of the British Stag. Okay, so we've got the barbecue set up exactly the way we want it. Now we've got to bring it up to temperature. You see I've got the vents wide open for now. Both intake vents are on full, top vent full open. This is all about getting temperature into the barbecue. Alright, the barbecue's up to 240 Fahrenheit. It's about where I want it. I want to cook these ribs low and slow. It's going to take about 8 hours at 240, 250, 260. I'm not too concerned. I don't want the temperature to get too high. At the same time, I'm not all that worried about it. It can float. So we're going to be aiming for anywhere between 230 to 260 all day. It's going to be perfect. So let's get these ribs loaded in the barbecue. Well, as you all know, it's tradition around here to crack a beer when the smoker starts up. Today, I've got a dead pony cub, Brewdog, tasty little drop. It's a fair way to start the day. Cheers, everybody. Delicious. Well, the ribs have been on for about 3 hours now, and I haven't opened the lid once. They've just been smoking away. Now I just want to open them up, have a look at what's going on, check if we're getting a nice bark, nice colour going, and then I'm going to spritz them with a little bit of spritz that I made up just now, which is just water mixed with Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of our rub that we used earlier. Just a nice savoury basting liquid that we can roll over the top of them. Get the lid back down and roll on smoking. So after about 2 hours here on the cook, you can see there's a little bit of colour starting to come through. They're looking really good, but nothing special yet. I made a little spritz juice up, but as you can see, the spritz bottle got blocked up, so I've just gone with the old school method here of dousing the ribs in some juice. This is a bit of a Worcestershire sauce mix, really delicious, just some basic flavours. Another 2 hours have passed by this stage. We're at 4 hour mark. You can see these are starting to really look good. They're kind of colouring up beautifully. I managed to find myself a brush so I can look a little bit more professional this time around. And we're just going well. The barbecue's been rolling all day. It's sitting locked in around 275 Fahrenheit. And the cook's going perfect. So we're going to leave it now another 2 hours, come back, give it one last basting, and then we'll probably look to get these wrapped up and then some foil or some paper for the final push. Okay, it's been 9 hours and these ribs are done. It's been a long cook. Amazing how it can take that long for just 2 ribs to cook, but I've left them unwrapped the whole time. Could have sped it up by 2 or 3 hours by wrapping them up in foil or a butcher paper. But for these beef ribs, I like a big crispy crunchy bark on the outside and that soft delicious meat on the inside. So we're going to probe these, show you how they're looking, and then we'll get them off the barbecue, get them to the cutting board and get this cook over and done with. And here we go for the big reveal. On the cutting board, steaming, glorious beef ribs. I mean, take a look at that. Excuse the shadow, I've got the worst filming setup possible at the moment. The light in my kitchen's no good. But look at that crispy, dark bark and that juicy meat on the inside. I mean, that is beef rib perfection right there. The smell I'm smelling right now, you wouldn't believe. Alright, 9.5 hours of cook time and the beef ribs are finally done. It's taken all day and we're very hungry. So there's only one more thing to do, and that's give them a taste. I've got this beautiful big juicy one here and it's ready to go. Absolutely fantastic. So there you have it, guys. I've served these up alongside some chicken wings, some beautiful boiled spuds and a nice side salad here. We feasted on this, cleaned the bones up, that was just absolutely beautiful. Pair that up with a nice glass of red wine, in this case a special bottle from a good friend of mine out there, Wally. As I said, this one's dedicated to you, mate. Thanks a million. Guys, get out there, give this a crack. You don't do better eating than this. Iron Bark out.